What's everyone, it's Matt Mrozik, and I thought I'd do a quick video of my very first 3D printed and painted piece. I've done a ton of prints, but this is the first one I've actually painted. This is Mary Jane, quarter scale. This is sculpted by Eduardo Temporao. I hope I'm saying that correctly. He's been floating this file around for a while. I've actually printed like 5 of these, but this is the first one where someone actually paid me to paint one. And I've got one more in line, and I'll probably be doing more. So here she is. Super happy with it. I think she turned out really fantastic. Let me kind of scroll down here a little bit to show you everything, and we'll zoom out. So my client wanted a very comic style, which I love. So I got the bright orange hair, super bright lips, green eyes. She does have some freckles. I'll change lenses and get in closer here in a minute. But just a couple freckles on the skin. Very you know, kind of neutral skin tone. Let me see if I can adjust the light on her arm a little bit. It's a little bright. Let's see here. There. Let's see if that helps. But yeah, so very subtle natural shading going on in the skin. Again, you'll see more when he gets in person. He wanted a white t-shirt, so we did that. With the red Spidey logo on the shirt. And we did some nice worn denim with pink flowers and a black Spidey on the thigh there. Got some tears in the jeans with some worn denim. And then we've got the white spider web on the calf there, and I'll do a turnaround. And then one of my favorite parts is actually the base. So we have this really cool little plush Spider-Man with a camera and her bag. Looks really, really sharp. So let me do a turnaround. Let me spin her a little bit, and we'll come around and do another pan up. So come this way. You can see the Spider-Man logo on her calf a little bit better. There's her bag. There's those jeans. Those turned out really nice. Just bring down the exposure a little bit. So the shirt's actually not bright white. It's an off-white. I think it just looks a little bit more natural. So there we go. We kind of do a spin around here. Her face. The engineering on this piece is a little interesting, and I think the way he cut this model was specifically for people with smaller printers. I have the Phrozen Transform, so it would have been nice if it was pieced together a little bit differently. And I'll go into that in here in a minute when I change lenses, but overall I'm really happy with this. It's not perfect, none of my work is, so when I do the next few, I see some areas where I can improve, and it mostly has to do with cleanup of the print. There are a few little print layers here and there, but nothing that sticks out unless you know where they are, so it's more because I've just been working with the piece over and over again, and so I know where all the little mistakes are. And that's typical with my work. I know where all the little nitpicky areas are, so I know where to look. But there's that. Those turned out really nice. My client specifically wanted pink roses, which I like. It's a great choice. A little highlighting on those, and the leaves, I want the brighter green instead of a darker green leaf. Looks really good. The denim looks amazing. Really, really nice. Looks like a naturally worn denim. And we got a little camera on the bottom there, which I really like. You know, being a photographer, it's really cool to see that. So the base is, I'll come up and show you the top of the base, but it's Spidey's eyes. So everything, the camera, the plush Spidey, and the bag is glued onto the base. I thought about gluing her down, but she can come off. I'll show you how to take her off. It's a pretty tight fit. And again, I had to do some, again, when you do a 3D print, it's not just print and paint. There's actually a lot of prep to do, because even though the fit of this piece was overall very good, I did have to do some putty work and stuff to fill some gaps and get things to fit correctly, but overall it's really nice. But there's the base. The bag's just leather with some shading in it, some shadows added. And it's looking, the red's looking a little dark here. I'm going to brighten this up just a hair. That's actually more accurate to what it looks like right there for the base. Again, when you're exposing for a dark area and a light area, it's really hard to get it all. If I expose for the base, she'd be blown out, and vice versa. If I'm exposed for her, the base gets too dark. But there you go. Spidey's got some nice shading in the eyes there. You may not be picking it up. So overall, time-wise, the print takes about 30 hours to print. So it's in two build plates. I would say between prepping and painting and building, overall this is a week-long project easily. So I am doing more if you want one. It's $850 for the printed and painted piece, not including shipping or PayPal fees. That is higher than I gave out for the first quote, because after doing one, I know how much work it takes. So initially, I was quoting a little less, but after doing one, I know how much work it takes. So again, and this is the very first one, so there are little things here and there that aren't perfect, but overall, she turned out very nicely. One thing some things I learned. So like when I was doing the prep work, like I glued the feet to the legs so I could get everything pinned and her standing correctly. That was a big mistake, because then when I went to go prep everything, I had a hell of a time getting in there with primer and sanding all the print layers down. I got them, but it was a nightmare to do. So like on the next ones I'll prime everything. I'll assemble the legs except for the feet. Prime everything, sand it all down, get the print lines out, and go from there. Because I had to do some work on rekeying the feet and getting those to fit and getting everything lined up so she'd stand correctly. So that was like one of the big learnings, was on the feet. Now, one of the things that I question about the engineering of this piece and where it's cut is that he cut it right here at the knees. Like there's a seam here and a seam here. You can't see because I fixed it, but it just adds a lot of work, and then you have to worry about lining up the feet and getting them keyed correctly. So I personally would love the legs as one piece. It's split right down the butt. It's in a seam, so I didn't have any filling here. But again, if you have a bigger printer, it's nice to not to deal with putting those together and lining things up. But that turned out really nicely. Super happy with the denim. And then we move up here to her waist. I'm going to bring the exposure down just a hair. And we've got the nice red fingernails to go with the red Spidey logo. Again, there's Spidey, all hand painted on the shirt. And then I'm really happy with her portrait. I'm going to come in, see if I can come in tighter. I think I'll focus this close. I'm using a pretty telephoto lens right now. Yeah. So right there, it's about as close as I can get. So yeah, I can see the freckles there. Nice bright orange hair. Bright lips. There's a little bit of blue eyeshadow on there. You may not be able to see it. But this is another area in the engineering and keying of the kit, or the print. So in the print, there is a key for the head to go down into the neck. There's a female end, but there's no male end on the head, which is weird. And then the hair is split down the middle back here. So you have to, at least the way I did it, is paint the shirt, paint the portrait, and then what I did, I did the base coat of the hair. So you have to paint the portrait, paint the shirt, base coat the hair, glue that together, and then you have to fix the seam. I had a pretty significant gap, about a 1/4 inch of a gap here, because just the way it fit. Then I had to go in there and use A's and resculpt the hair a little bit. It turned out, but it's just more work than is necessary, I think, again, personally, I think, even though it created a little more work painting wise, it would be easier if the hair, the face, and the chest, or the torso, not the arms, were one piece in one print. It would make less work, I think. I could be wrong. Again, this is the first print I painted, so and it's a tight fit. So once you get the head on there and you get the hair on there, you have to worry about scratching the paint on the shirt, which I did a little bit. I did touch it up, no big deal, but still. Just a few little keying and engineering things I question, but again, I'm not a 3D sculptor or anything, so that's just my opinion. So there's the back side. And she's got a great bum. The way I did the denim, you know, it looks like she's got the bum's worn, the thighs are worn, the calves are worn. Yeah, looks really good. I'm going to pause for a second. Actually, I'll just come up. Give me 1 second. See if I can show the top of the base with this lens. Okay. So here you can see that the top of the base is Spidey's face. And like I said, I've got everything glued on there except for her. So we'll do a spin around. Let me bring up the exposure a little bit on that. But that's got real nice shading and everything going on the base. You can see that. I kept the shoes pretty simple. They match the bag pretty closely, so I did that on purpose. So looks like a matching accessory. There you go. And then to take her off the base, or this is for my client, what you're going to want to do is you're going to hold the base still. Don't put your hands on, try not to grab this stuff. You're going to want to wiggle her kind of back and forth a little bit, just real gently. And then she'll come out. And then when you put her in the base, same thing. I've got 2 pins for each foot. Put her in and just kind of wiggle it back and forth a little bit. And then she's in. And what I do is I make sure that the back heel is touching the base and that she's seated correctly. But yeah, there you go. I'm really happy with this piece. Hopefully my client likes it. Let's come down again and finish up with this video. Awesome camera work. But there you go. Quarter scale Mary Jane, printed on the Phrozen Transform. Printed in Siraya Tech Fast White resin. About 30 hours to print. About another, I don't know, let's say 30 to 40 hours to build, prep, and paint. So yeah, you know, it's a nice piece and it looks really good. So I think I'm doing a few more of these. I know I'm painting at least one more, if not a second one. But I have printed and sold a few prints. The great thing about Eduardo's files is that once you buy the file, he allows you to sell the prints and sell them painted. So some sculptors don't allow that. He's one of the guys that will allow you to sell the prints. You know, he doesn't want you selling the files or sharing the files. I had a friend ask me if he could borrow the files. Like, no, you need to buy it because I'm not gonna do that. You need to pay for it. Even though you're only gonna print one, that's not the point. The point is you need to pay the sculptor. But there you go. Super happy with this piece. Hopefully my client likes it. And there you go. On to the next project. And as always, thanks for watching. This is Matt Mrozik. I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.